Oh, hello there. Come on then, let's go and have a look.
I'm Emma and he's Stu, and these are our plucky offspring.
If you've just joined us on our channel, then last year we waved goodbye to the cold and dreary UK and swapped it for sun, sand and engine problems with our new van life in Europe.
We upped stick from our old lives because we thought that our children were missing out on their education and really not learning enough about this big, beautiful blue planet.
That's right, so we thought why not take them across Europe and beyond and show them the real world. Right now we're on a mission to drive our huge motorhome, the beautiful Betty, to Morocco and the Sahara Desert. She's the kind of girl that you can always depend on. We like to push the limits of where we can take her, and sometimes we come a cropper.
We are heading to two key locations in the Sahara, Mohammed and the Zouga. Along the way we are going to be immersing ourselves in the exotic culture, soaking up this vibrant country and hopefully inspiring you to visit Morocco. After getting off to a turbulent start in our last episode,
We have encountered some more vehicle problems.
we are about to arrive in Tangier on the 33-hour ferry we took from Barcelona. Our van life in Morocco was about to well and truly begin.
In this video we get trapped at the Moroccan border. We brave the absolutely mental Tangier roads at night time and get blown away by the stunning capital city of Rabat.
It's gonna be a busy one.
Getting off the boat was a bit mental. Our heart always goes in our mouth when we're going down the ramps of a boat. I mean, praying that the back of Betty is not going to come off like it did at some point in Spain.
We had a really impatient Moroccan chap parked behind us who was clearly in a bit of a rush, beeping his horn like mad, wasn't he?
Yeah, we didn't think much about it and we told him to relax and chill out as we were about to move. However, we now know why he was in such a rush to get off the boat so quickly. We're in Morocco, kids! Woo! So as you'd expect, there's a big old queue getting out of the port. Pretty crazy really. There's obviously a lot of traffic and lots of people jumping in, and there's also lots of people jumping over the fences, coming up to the windows to see if they can get some money off you. Pretty wild.
A few moments later.
So we're still here, sat in the traffic jam at the customs gate. We're just enjoying a game of cat and mouse at the minute, aren't we?
Yeah, lots of mice.
Yeah.
Cats are just wandering, chasing them off.
So there's lots of the guys, they look like sort of police auxiliaries, and there's like proper police here, and it looks like there's military personnel here as well.
There's a lot going on.
And there's all these like Moroccans jumping the fence and coming in, and they're all obviously to beg or to sell you stuff, like some of them, whatever, but they're all hiding in amongst the cars. And so when they see the police officers come in, they're ducking down and they're sort of running between the cars, and it's hilarious to watch. It's mild entertainment, but actually we just want to get out of here, but it is, you know, passing the time.
Anywhere.
1 hour later.
So a little bit more of an update. We've spoke to some helpful Moroccan chaps next to us, and they sort of explained to us that the reason we've got a big hold up is it was beeping. The reason there's a massive hold up is because the guards or the border police are eating. Obviously it's Ramadan at the minute, so they've not been able to eat all day, so it's just gone pretty much sundown now. So they've obviously decided to break the fast, and the rest of us can sort of sit here and just wait until the finish really. But the Morocco guy did point out that they're not allowed to just break the fast in the middle of the road, so they can't eat, but they can up there.
2 hours later.
So we're still here, we're still trapped in the queue. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on. We've not had much more information from anybody, but everyone seems to be sort of just standing around waiting for something. We'll update you when we know a bit more, but at the minute we're kind of stuck here with no direction forward.
2,000 years later.
There's some movement going on. We seem to be doing something at the minute, don't we?
Not a lot, but there's some cars started up and the tooting stopped, so...
And security guards have sort of made their way back.
Reappearing.
With smiles on their face. But now we're left with, as you know the way is when you're adventuring, we're left with a different set of circumstances than we'd initially planned. We've got a bit more wind.
It's very windy.
It's dark, and one of the things that they do say, one of the things that we researched was don't go driving in the dark, because under 20 kilometers an hour, I think it is, or miles per hour, I'm not sure which one it was, probably kilometers, Moroccans don't have to drive with their lights on. So
Handy.
you might even not see them coming until you've driven into one. And we've also got to sort out SIM cards and insurance, and we've got to get our sat-nav working, so we've got some data, and you know, there's loads to do now, but now we're doing it at 7:30 this time, as opposed to doing it at about 4:30, 5 o'clock when we got here. So there we go, that's just travel for you though, isn't it?
It was crazy. There were vehicles cutting each other up constantly, but ended up going nowhere.
It didn't help that the port officials were constantly contradicting each other as well, and opening new queues only to find that there were bottlenecks further up.
It took us about 4 hours to get through customs and border control. We picked up some insurance from the small cabin on the way out of the port.
This cost us about 1,541 dirhams, which is about 150 euros, and this was only third party though. We also grabbed a load of dirhams from the cash points here, as they didn't charge extra for the withdrawal. And we have heard that ATMs can be a little bit hit or miss in Morocco. Also, top tip, grab a SIM card from the Inwi dealers here. I paid about £20 for a 40 gig SIM card, but there was a bit of haggling needed. This proved to be a lifesaver for us early on, as our sat-nav didn't work in Morocco, and we could straight away use Google Maps to check out the towns and campsite entrances for access. We know you can get a SIM card in town, as we did for our other phone and for our internet receiver, but this really didn't work out that much cheaper, did it?
No.
And it meant that we had internet access straight away.
We really didn't want to be driving at night, as we'd heard a few horror stories, but thanks to the massive delay at the port, we were now going to need to drive through Tangier at night, after iftar and fasting had finished. Perfect.
Perfect. Absolute bedlam is the only way to describe Moroccan roads at night in the city. I'm still surprised we made it out of there without having a major collision.
The whole time we kept thinking that about our third-party insurance. Very scary. Bit of a culture shock.
Van life in Morocco definitely takes a bit of adjustment. So we finally made it into the campsite in Asilah after a pretty turbulent end to the evening with the border guards, with the border, and getting into the port. And we have successfully managed to navigate the Moroccan road. They were definitely an exciting trip, and it took us, you know, our sat nav on the phone took us through Tangier, properly through the city centre. So we've got a bit of van life admin to do by getting some SIM card sorted and that. There were 3 police stops all the way down, which was good to see that there's a little bit of police presence on the roads. But yeah, it didn't feel unsafe driving, it felt okay, and it was at night, and we read everything we read about Morocco was like, don't drive at night. And yeah, I mean, it was probably be a bit easier in the daytime, although Tangier probably would have been absolutely crazy. So, but yeah, we've got into this campsite, and we'll show you tomorrow. We'll do like a bit of a tour of the campsite where you can sort of see where we are. But it looks pretty legit. It looks all right. I mean, it's got a restaurant attached at the front, so we might check that out tomorrow. So we're all pretty tired now. The kids have gone to bed, and the kids are going to bed. They're sort of poking their heads out at me. But yeah, we're all done in now. So cheers. Our first night in Morocco. Give us a night-night, Skye. Night-night wave. Give us a night-night wave, Rivs. Night-night wave, Woody. Oh, he's already asleep. I don't think it works, darling. So we've come to the camp in Tahadart, which is just outside Asilah, and Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, is it?
Very basic, but it's got everything you need. Good stop after the ferry.
Yeah, pricey though. I mean, obviously, we've not got much comparison, but we've sort of, you know, had a look around, and price-wise, it seems to be on the sort of top scale. So you're looking at about, what was it, 160 dirhams for the for a night, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was 2 adults, 3 kids, electric,
Yeah.
and use of the waste and stuff.
Yeah, so it's about 17 euros, I think, 16, 17 euros it
Yeah.
works out as, which is about, I think, about 14 pounds.
So in the grand scheme of things, when you look out the price that we've paid here, it's low for the UK, but across Morocco, the price is a lot cheaper. So it is only an hour from the port, maximum, I think, on the main road, probably about half an hour.
Where we're going today, though, in Rabat, seems to be quite a bit cheaper. So we also ate out at the restaurant last night, which was amazing, wasn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. A very local place. Looks a bit like what we'd call a greasy spoon cafe. Older tables and chairs, people just sat around chatting and eating, but it was absolutely amazing.
And we just caught it, I think, just as Ramadan had just finished for the day. So basically we were just like, well, we'll have what they're having. And we just pointed to the table, didn't we? Didn't know what any of it was, but yeah, it was incredible. And the kids, they loved it as well, didn't they? The food was great. We had like a mixed sort of kebab grill and a tagine.
Ended up with a lot of lamb and some chicken.
We paid about 350 dirhams for the meal. That was including a tip as well, which again, that worked out about 33 euros, which for a meal for 5 people, and there was a lot of food, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I think was great value. Again, I'm sure you can get it cheaper when you go into the towns and into the cities, in the souks. But you know, this was kind of prime real estate, wasn't it? It was next to the campsite, so they were obviously going to charge a decent amount of money. But yeah, great meal, wasn't it?
Fantastic. Eat there again.
The duck in the park is kind of creepy, and it's good for kids. And then the duck is wobbly and all the other ones, so you can get on them, but they just don't move. The host is really friendly here, and that comes and helps. Does help you a lot, because he helps you where to go, and he speaks to you a lot. The dinner was very nice.
Which bits did you like the best?
The lamb.
We stopped off for a quick look at the beach. You know, it's always worth checking out if, you know, a quick dip is on the cards, but we took one look and changed our minds.
One thing that we have noticed about Morocco is the amount of litter that's all over the place. The beach was covered in rubbish. We understand that it isn't the same infrastructure as Europe, and also it's a behavioural and educational thing. It's a real shame though, as it does spoil some of the landscapes at times, but we know there are huge differences between our culture and their culture, so we didn't want to judge.
Our next stop was the capital city of Rabat. Tonight we were going super classy, babe, and we're staying in a petrol station. Oh yeah, we are living the dream.
Hi there, we are in a shell garage today, and we parked up last night on the outskirts of Rabat. Today we are heading in through the craziness that is the traffic in Morocco, right towards Rabat, where we're going to find a nice park along by the beach, and then we're going to head into town and try and find some of the Medinas and check out Moroccan life in their city.
So who's looking forward to going into Rabat, the capital city?
Me.
What are we looking forward to seeing?
Beaches.
Mosques, beaches and Medinas, cool. So all you British middle lane hoggers would love Morocco, because we found that the best way to drive is to kind of just sit in the middle lane. because if you go into the right lane, it's absolute carnage, because you've got like little tuk-tuk bike things, you've got people just stopping in the middle of the road, you've got people just walking. So the best place to be is the middle lane and just hold your ground. So Rabat has a population of about 1.6 million, which is a fair bit, about 400,000 more than Birmingham in the UK for comparison. It's also not the most populated city in Morocco. That is Casablanca, which has about twice the population of Rabat.
Rabat is regarded as one of the wealthiest and most affluent cities in Morocco. You can definitely see why with the way it's kept and how tidy it is.
We've parked up in a pretty big car park, to be honest, right on the seafront, so we've got an amazing view of the beach. It's about half an hour's walk into town, so we're not going crazy today. We've got a few sites that we want to go see. We'll take a leisurely stroll there. We're going to go and see the Hassan Tower, and also we're going to see the mausoleum of Mohammed the 4th, I think, or 5th. I'll fact check that. And we're going to go check out the Medina and go and immerse ourselves in some Moroccan culture. In the car park, seems to be the general way of things is, so they'll have an attendant who you pay some money to, and in our case it was 20 dirhams, which is about €2, so for all day parking's pretty good. And that attendant will stay there all day, and we'll just keep an eye on the vehicles. You see them in the cities as well, and they'll have an attendant there who will help you park, and then we'll stand and look after your vehicles all day. Bit of security there, knowing it's okay, but obviously we've got our precautions with our arms and stuff, so yeah, we're reasonably confident.
Our first stop on our tour around Rabat was the Andalusian Gardens. You seriously need to come and check these out if you visit Morocco and take a trip to Rabat. It is such a tranquil and quiet place, especially with the hustle and bustle of the city outside.
It's stunning. It is really gorgeous, very calming, even with lots of tourists coming round.
With the Medina, we thought it would be really busy, but it was super quiet.
We reckon that because it was Ramadan, that during the day it's super chill, and at night it really livens up. It was a great introduction though for the kids to explore a Medina and not get too overwhelmed straight away. Would you rather stay in there or in Betty?
Betty.
In there? That's not the right answer.
Our last stop was the Hassan Tower and the mausoleum of Mohammed V. These are must-see sites when you're visiting Rabat. Our kids were learning about Islam during their schooling, so this was a great opportunity to see some amazing landmarks up close.
So this is the King Hassan Tower, which is the tallest mosque tower in the world, or it would have been. It was originally going to be twice as tall as this, and it was built by King Hassan in the 12th century, but unfortunately it wasn't finished. He passed away and no one could finish it or afford to finish it, so it didn't get built. Inside, there's no staircase up the tower, but there was a ramp, and the ramp was used by the king so he could ride his horse all the way to the top of the tower. After clocking some serious mileage walking around Rabat, it was time to finish up our time here. We headed back to Betty, who was hopefully still there, and on to our next destination. So far, we are loving Morocco, even though it's been a big culture shock for us, and we're having to adapt our van life routines to van life in Morocco. But awesome so far.
Taking a motorhome to Morocco is a big learning curve and one that we are thoroughly enjoying. Learning while travelling is what our adventures are all about. Thanks for all the support you have given our channel. It has been great talking with you all in the comments. If you have been to Morocco, leave us a message in the comments. We would love to hear about your experiences, and maybe you have some travel tips that you can share.
Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new here, then please press subscribe. Also, press the bell button to receive a notification of when our next video will drop. We have loved having you along for the ride, and as always, see you soon and safe travels.